The room went quiet, the kind of quiet that feels like a scream trapped in your throat. My wife Elise stood at the head of the dinner table, her wine glass trembling in her hand, her eyes glinting with something I couldn't name, regret, maybe, or defiance. At least David knew how to make me feel alive, she said, her voice slicing through the chatter of our friends. David. Her ex. The name landed like a brick through glass, shattering the illusion of our perfect evening. I sat frozen, my fork halfway to my mouth, the taste of roasted lamb turning to ash. Our friends shifted uncomfortably, their laughter dying mid-breath. The dining room, with its warm amber lights and the faint clink of crystal, felt like a stage where the script had just been rewritten. I forced a smile, the kind you plaster on when you're drowning but don't want anyone to notice. Funny way to bring up old flames, Elise, I said, my voice steady despite the earthquake in my chest. She didn't look at me. She just sipped her wine, her lips tight, as if she hadn't just cracked our marriage open in front of everyone. I should have seen it coming. The signs were there, small as whispers, easy to dismiss. The way she'd linger on her phone late at night, her thumb scrolling through messages she never shared. The way her laughter felt forced when I'd pull her close, her body stiff like she was humoring me. I told myself it was stress, her new job, the long hours. I told myself we were fine. But now her words hung in the air, heavy with truth I'd been too blind to face. The dinner dragged on, each moment a slow bleed. Our friends tried to steer the conversation back to safe ground. Work, vacations, the weather. But Elise's comment had left a stain. I watched her across the table, her dark hair catching the light, her smile practiced but hollow. She was beautiful, always had been, but tonight she felt like a stranger wearing my wife's face. My mind churned, replaying her words, searching for clues. Was David back in her life? Had he ever left? After dessert, when the guests drifted to the living room, I caught her in the kitchen, rinsing plates with mechanical precision. What was that about? I asked, keeping my voice low, though it shook with the effort. She didn't turn around. The water hissed against the porcelain. It was nothing, Mark, she said too quickly. Just something stupid, I said. Stupid? I stepped closer, the linoleum cold under my feet. You compared me to your ex in front of everyone. That's not nothing. She shut off the faucet, her shoulders stiffening. You're making a big deal out of this. Am I? My voice cracked, betraying the anger I'd been swallowing. Tell me, Elise. Is there something I need to know? Her silence was louder than any confession. She dried her hands, her movements deliberate, avoiding my eyes. You're being paranoid, she said finally, but her voice wobbled, a hairline fracture in her composure. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But the doubt was a splinter, burrowing deeper with every second she wouldn't meet my gaze. That night, I couldn't sleep. The bedroom smelled of her lavender perfume, but it felt wrong, like a memory that didn't belong to me anymore. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, the shadows shifting like ghosts. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, 3:17 a.m. A notification from her email, synced to my device by accident months ago. I hesitated, my heart pounding, then opened it. A message from David. No subject line. Just 3 words, I miss you. The world tilted. My breath caught, sharp and jagged, as I scrolled through their history. Messages stretching back months, late-night confessions, inside jokes, plans to meet. Each word was a blade, carving away the life I thought we had. She'd been slipping away, piece by piece, and I'd been too busy loving her to notice. Morning came, gray and heavy. Elise was already in the kitchen, humming softly, as if nothing had changed. I stood in the doorway, watching her pour coffee, her movements so familiar yet so foreign. I saw the emails, I said, my voice flat, like I was reading a script. Her mug slipped, shattering on the tile. She didn't move, didn't speak, just stared at the broken pieces. Mark, she started, but I cut her off. Don't. I stepped closer, my hands shaking. You don't get to explain this away. Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't soften me. Not this time. You compared me to him last night, because he's still in your heart. Maybe he never left. She reached for me, but I stepped back. I love you, Mark, she whispered, her voice breaking. I made a mistake. A mistake? I laughed, bitter and hollow. You've been lying to me for months. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. The air between us crackled, thick with everything we hadn't said. I could have screamed, could have demanded answers, but something shifted inside me. A quiet resolve, cold and clear. I'm not going to fight for someone who's already gone, I said, my voice steady now. You want David? Go. But don't expect me to wait. I walked out, past the dining room where she'd broken my world, past the life we'd built together. The front door clicked shut behind me, and the silence that followed was deafening. I didn't look back. Not because I didn't love her, I did fiercely, but because I loved myself enough to let her go.